Good evening, this is Hejin Lee with an evening update for Bitcoin. Here is the chart that we left off most recently. When I saw this extended one, my price pathway discernment was that of a possible ABCDE. But price had decided to morph into something else. So let's get rid of these labelings for now and update the count. First thing I'm going to do is let's see if we can draw some lines across the bottoms like that. And then across the tops. Of the prices. So what is this pattern? What would you call this pattern? It's a flag. Would you say it's a bullish or bearish portending flag? Now the flag, when the flag is pointing upwards, it's bearish. When the flag is pointing downwards, like that, then it's usually more bullish. Now, even though it didn't do a triangle pattern of ABCDE, I think it's doing a different kind of an ABCDE. And that ABCDE can be like this. A, B, C, D, and E. So that means we have so we have the down, and the first up step is A, B, C, D, E. So one more leg up here. This will be three wavish. 1, 2, 3. It'll go like that. Okay. And this from here, we will now get the C wave. I need to move it to the right because time has elapsed, like so. Okay. So this is wave 1, extended. I'm assuming I'm going to make this wave 1 the longest. This A, B, C, D, E will be 2. Okay. And my primary count is still that we are on a C wave. So 1, 2, 2 is A, B, C, D, E. Horizontal channel. 3, 4, and 5 will be, so 1 is extended, 2, although this 2 is pretty wide, I'm going to make it 0.618, 1.2, That's an eyeball estimate. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be here. And 5. So I'm going to put the low a little lower. It was 68. Now it's going to be around 6,600. But I think it can still be somewhere in the range. I'm thinking somewhere in the range of 6,800 to 6,600. 6,500 is what I've said before in the past. So in this price range. So the 3 could be shorter, like that. But I like to make 3 a little longer here. So my primary count is that we are in wave C. And this C is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now there is an alternate count of the same direction here. And that goes like this. We can still say wave 1 is done. And we have here ABC. Instead of ABCDE, this is ABC 2. Okay. And we have 3, 4, 5. And what if 2 is here instead of there, then what's going on here? And sorry, this is going to be a little mess. First, let me change the color. Let me move that. It'll be a lot easier that way. What I'm saying is we have 1. This is ABC. So 1, 2. 1. ABC's 2 is up here. 3, 4, 5. Now, this is the wave 1 and 2 of this white 3. And it'll look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you follow? So I have ABC here. So 1, 2. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we have currently seeing is 1 and 2 is done. 3, 4, 5. And it doesn't matter which way, because the destination remains the same. So we could have A, B, C, D, E, and then 3, 4, 5, or we are at A, B, C, that's the top of 2, and this is doing the subwave of 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 4 of 3, 5, 3 of 3, 4 of 3, 5 of 3. This is 3, 4, 5. Same destination. So what I like to do as a primary, because it looks so good as a rectangle flag pointing upwards, I'm going to keep it as A, B, C, D, E. And there should be one more up to finish the E wave, and 3, 4, 5. So a good electrician goes through all of these probabilities in his head and selects the primary, and this is my primary for now. And you've seen my secondary, same direction, and my tertiary is more on the bullish side, but I won't discuss that right now until I actually see that happening maybe by tomorrow morning. If I see a big difference tomorrow morning where prices continue going up, then that's a different story. And that means that the correction was over here. It was finished here, ABC. It's a little messy, so let me get rid of the subwaves. Now what we are saying is if ABC, ignore this for now, if ABC was here, okay, and it completed, then this could be one, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be 1, 2, and we are starting wave 3 up. But I make that my least likely, least probable, because this is really not impulsive. This is very overlapping and three-wave-ish. For that reason, I keep this as my primary pathway. I also want to bring to your attention, I've shown this chart before today, and I had a commenter today also make the same astute observation. Robinson LX posted this on the MACD. Very good observation. Thank you, Robinson. And this is a chart that I have been showing in past blogs. So we need to keep an eye on this. Let's touch the upper line, upper trend line, the MACD. And even you can count 5 waves here. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's very interesting because this really takes, as the red circle shows, the need for caution. And I agree, yes. But as I've said before, here, with so many of the altcoins ready to have their time on stage. Like I said, I could put another probably 100 altcoins with very similar patterns. We saw downward pointing symmetrical triangle as one of the most common, with a cup and handle patterns like on Zen, Steam, library coins. And we also saw the broadening patterns, which we have been calling the jaws of wealth. All those three types, with so many of the alts having that form, I find it very difficult that that Bitcoin will just start crashing down here and leave altcoins with no choice but to follow Bitcoin and go to almost zero. Is it possible? Yes. But I've said frequently, possible and probable are not the same things. I think what will happen here is that it'll come down, which is when the Bitcoin will correct, and it'll turn back up, and either make a lower high, but price will make a higher high, or it will turn down and touch it one more time and then go down. Maybe into next year or something, I don't know. I really don't know exactly how this will transpire. But one thing about the MACD also is it is a bit of a lagging indicator. If I had nothing but the MACD to go by, it will be almost same as driving your car forward with all your windows blacked out, and the only way you can see is from your rear view mirror in front of you. But you're going to have to drive forward with it. That's what it'll be like to use just a lagging indicator. You won't do too well. So again, using just the MACD, which is a lagging indicator, by itself, without Elliott wave, without chart pattern, but just the MACD, in a car, it's like driving a car forward where all the windows are black. You cannot see through the windows. Or let's say it has no windows. The only thing you have is a rear view mirror that shows what's going on behind you, what you've already passed. So driving like that is going to be disastrous. So what I do as a result is I rely on my Elliott wave analysis and chart pattern recognition. And I think we're going to see here, this is a daily chart. The correction here we're seeing will go to 8,000. And now the fork is out of the way. It still does not mean that it cannot have this ABC correction. It can. C-A-N. And I still see this as 3, 4, 5 as the top of 5. And after that, because I don't care what the fundamental in the news might be, whether it's canceled or not canceled or what have you. After 5 waves, you have to have an ABC retracement. Maybe this retrace will be a lot deeper. Maybe it'll go to the prior wave 4. Oops. Maybe it'll be like that. But in a scenario like this, I think the altcoins could start doing the pickups. They have to have that time on the stage while this is going on. Or the altcoins could have, this could go a lot higher and then correct. I don't know right now, but I do know this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th wave. After this 5th wave is done, whether it's 8,000, 10,000, I don't know where it could be extended, who knows. After 5 waves, there will be an ABC correction. But as the time and data, additional new price data comes in, we could make those decisions later. But yes, we need to keep our eyes on this. I think from now on, with every update, I'll post this as an update as well, just to keep a consistent eye on this and see what happens. Why do I think this is possible? We did it here. It may happen one more time. Just because it did here doesn't mean it's guaranteed it'll happen again. No. But it doesn't mean it can't either. Which is why I will rely on my LA wave analysis and on the counts. I'm doing more of the micro counts because I really want to see as to how far this correction will go. Let me get rid of the red line. And once this correction is done, for this ABC, for the wave 4, prices should start rising again. Now, some of you today might have tried, you saw this massive surge and then collapse. And during that time, a lot of you tried to access your Bittrex accounts, maybe your Kraken accounts, Bitfinex, and some of you had a lot of trouble accessing it. Maybe there was a 504, whatever you call the gateway issues. I don't think it was a DDoS. Maybe it was. Maybe there was a DDoS attack at the same time while people were trying to make a mad dash to access their accounts to trade this. As soon as they found out that the Segway 2X was cancelled, they tried to dump it and they couldn't get to it fast enough. It was like 1,000 people trying to run for one small exit door. That's what happens here. When that happened, it was a bit of a mini panic. When panic happens, exchanges get clogged. That even happened during the flash crash a few years ago in the equity markets. The system just shuts down because of overload. Because of the overload. And when we get to this top, wherever that might be from a price point of view, 8 or 50,000, maybe 20,000, no one knows. So we did 3, 4, now we are in the 7,000 range or so. Once this big top is put in, it could be 25,000. I showed you guys last night the tulip mania where the final geyser-like surge quadrupled the price. And I think that's what's happening right now with Bitcoin too. We're in that process. And we should ride that as much as we can for now. But once it is done, and once this major cycle level correction starts happening, people won't be able to access their central exchange accounts. Why? It'll be clogged. Orders will be mistaken. Orders will get lost and remain unfilled because of the panic that's going to happen. Everyone will run for one exit. The system will shut down. You won't have access to your accounts. You won't have access to your funds. And if you do get access to your funds and you enter your order, you might even get a confirmation, but maybe it actually will not even execute. Errors of that type occurred in the equity market during the flash crash, and it will occur in the centralized cryptos as well. I think from a capacity point of view, the BitShares exchange has the capacity so that it may not be as bad for them. But they may suffer the same types of clogging. But for all of us, hopefully, we won't have to face this. We'll be out 505, sitting on our profits and just watching, because this will be a sight to behold, this level of cycle correction. And I'm putting this big picture chart up now a little more frequently because we are on our way to there, to the topping. So those of you who experience the clogging, inability to access, the delays, the hangings of the connections, or the disconnections, you got a small taste of what might happen in this calamity of a cycle level correction that might be coming. And you might be thinking, you're nuts. No, I'm not. I'm using my elite wave analysis. 3, 4 has already passed. We are well on our way to 5. Elliott wave states that after 5 waves, what do you get? You get a 3-wave retracement. And this is a cycle degree of trend. And the 3-wave will be in the same degree of trend cycle level. Not a small one. A cycle level trend that'll retrace to the prior wave 4. Which is down here. It got buried, let me see. Right here. This is wave 4. Cycle level. So, going back to this for now. Let's see if we hit E overnight or this bottom support is breached down before hitting the E, in which case it'll be just ABC. 1, 2, and 3 will breach it. Okay, that's what I have for tonight. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. And as always, I hope I've earned the right to ask you for your upvotes, follows, and reesteems. I wish you all massive, massive profits and safety, because soon we're going to have to get out. I don't know when exactly that'll be, but that point in time is coming. And let's see if we can map that out together. Good night.